Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Stockton Esports Podcast. I am joined today with our PR rep, Kevin Gualberti, our Overwatch game manager and one of our Smash players, Pokemon Master Nick, and our Smash Bros. Game manager and a longtime player as well, that one guy, also known as Noah, and we got Nick, like I said before. So, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Splendid.
Amazing.
Got a lot of Overwatch stuff to handle. We should be able to get it all done.
How were the tryouts? I know you just had tryouts recently.
There was a lot of people. We've had at least 25. In previous years, we've had about 4 or 5. So it was a lot of people to work around.
That's good. Now you got multiple rosters going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
You had Smash Trials lately?
Yeah, I had them on Tuesday, and we lost like half our varsity, between like not going at school, just no longer playing the game or graduating, and like we lost some other like key people, but we were able to replace them with some really good new talent. So
okay. That's good to hear. I know you guys had a big summer. You went to SmashCon for the second time. How was that?
Oh, that was really fun. We went with Andres, who will probably appear sometime on this podcast, I would assume. Mike Garbanzo, he also probably will. And Var, who is one of our friends. He used to go here at Stockton. And I believe that's everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, if you want to go into the details of the event, where is it? Who hosted? What did you guys do there? How did you guys do in the tournament? Stuff like that. If you want to elaborate on that.
So every year they have it in Chantilly, Virginia. It's right outside of D.C. It's in a big conference hall. There's attendance is probably about like 4,000-ish. A lot of people, a lot of setups, a lot of cool stuff. And it's the same as just as big as when we went last year. And we go there more for the experience because we're probably know we're not going to win that much. And we performed about the same this time as we did last time.
No, I did pretty good. I went 0-2 last time. I went 2-2 last time.
So there was improvement there from the years.
Yeah. And then Var, funny story about Var, he DQ'd because he was watching me and Mike's double set, and like he just it was at the same time he just forgot about his single set. That's the funny story.
So he got DQ'd because he was watching someone else's game?
Yeah, he was watching me and Mike's game.
That's pretty funny.
That's a supportive friend right there.
I know, it's a supportive
Var
friend.
is an amazing friend,
He is. And
He's ready to gobble.
He was.
Yeah, you go there mostly because there's just so many setups and so many people to play with, even on a casual sense, a competitive sense, or just wanting to get better sense. And I definitely took advantage of that floating around. You just go to just meet someone. Hey, do you want to play Smash? Yeah, well, then you can sit there and play for 45 minutes, discuss stuff, notice what goes wrong, and that stuff I would like.
Yeah, we like met someone there. Like we just saw him in the hotel room, and like I think Nick like randomly mentioned Smash, and they're like, "Oh, we're here for Smash," or "I'm here for SmashCon too," and we're like, "Oh wow!" And then we became decent acquaintances. Like, yeah, I want to reach out to them like later because I haven't reached out to them in a while. They were cool, and we also played with them. Like, and they're from. Do you remember where Thine was from?
St. Louis area.
Yeah, St. Louis. Like, it's literally everyone from like across the country, even like other countries. Like, we can probably get into that later, like when we talk about like the top 8 of this area. But it was like. There was like one American in top 8, and it was like majorly Japan dominated top 8.
As you'd expect from a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
But in that, when you guys were there, I know it's such a huge event. Do you guys do anything to like prepare for it beforehand, or do you just kind of wing it when you get there?
We do the stuff we normally do for normal competitive settings. We just practice against ourselves for hours on end, and just making sure that we're comfortable with how we play. But there's only so much you could do practicing amongst yourselves. You eventually got to start playing with other people, practicing, having these long play sessions with different people, play different characters, which is another reason we like going to the convention, just getting out and being able to branch out to all these different kinds of players. And there's always the fun playing in the hotel room until 2 a.m. and then
Anytime.
Showing up late, unfortunately.
I remember the Instagram live streams.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys are there, I know you guys are obviously collegiate players being here at Stockton. Are there many other collegiate players you find there?
A lot of college people.
Yeah, some people show up with their jerseys and all, and their insignia. We bumped into a couple people that we met a couple months ago at Shenandoah University when they hosted their Omega Strikers and Smash Bros. Event. And we actually bumped into them at a restaurant that wasn't even in the venue and said, we started listening to like what they were talking about because they're sitting right next to us. All of a sudden they mentioned Shenandoah and Omega Strikers, and they were talking about the event that we attended. And granted, we're not local, and we don't really communicate with them, but we're from Stockton, which is all the way up in New Jersey. And he said, you guys are from Shenandoah, right? And he goes, yeah. And it was like, we were at your event. It was cool seeing them.
I mean, I want to take it back a little bit with SmashCon. You guys have been going to a lot of events lately, local events in New Jersey as well, such as going to Rowan as well. Smash Bros, you guys have been going to a lot of local events there. I want you to take me a little bit through what's like an average day on a Friday afternoon, just heading over to Rowan and getting some experience there, because at the end of the day, a lot of colleges don't actually host their own events, but Rowan has been doing that. So I want to know a little bit like what's that like going to another college for that event specifically, and also like kind of what like background does Rowan provide in order to help provide like more experience and better experiences, not alone for you guys but for everyone else attending.
So multiple ways that happens. Rowan just has just a better like general like Smash location there. Like we used to have one of our players, Sauce. He transferred to Rowan because he knew people there. Like it's kind of like how we have a giant congregation of Rocket League players that are really good. Like it tends to be Smash players, so just congregating over there. But like it's not too bad of a drive. Like it's like 40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, so basically our day is we get out of class at 2 o'clock. We play in the lab for a couple minutes, and about like a half hour. And then we'll go over there. We'll go and practice. Warm-up starts about 6, and we do the whole tournament. It's double elimination, pretty standard stuff. It's in a and they just host it in one of their academic hallways in a classroom. But now they're apparently new for this year. They're moving it out, and they built their own lab. They partnered with local host to kind of because they never really had what we had here at Stockton. They never really had a lab for years. And yeah, it goes on all night, and unfortunately we go 4-2 at most, and we're not there usually the whole night. So we just go out, and we'll go out to eat afterwards.
Yeah. It's very good competition there, like South Jersey, or just Jersey in general. Like North Jersey tends to be a little bit better, but like Jersey's a really, really good Smash area. Like it tends to be like the tri-state area, Florida, Georgia, and California. Those are like the big areas for Smash. So like even like us who have like average results, like we're gonna be like, if we go to like a random tournament in Iowa or like Ohio, like because there's like a less congregation of people, it'll be we would do better there comparatively because there's some really good people there. Like A9, even though like he didn't do that well in SmashCon, like he almost won against Light. However, he kind of just fumbled the bag, like because I guess he was just nervous because like we both played against him, and he's hit stuff on us that he just couldn't hit on Light. Like he missed his footstool anvil and stuff like that, and messed up his like and stuff like that. Like people who are capable of winning against like top players, like they're just here in this area, which is kind of crazy.
So the talent is just extremely dense in Jersey.
Yeah.
So when you go, have you gone to other places, other states, and have you had better results in other states in tournaments?
Yeah, Shenandoah, that's one of those areas where we have been, and I forget what Andres got. I think I tied for 5th. Andres, I think, got 3rd.
Yeah, he got 3rd place. It was one of our first major wins for Stockton.
Yeah.
Like walk out of the room with a prize.
Yeah. And then you got 7th, I believe.
For Stockton Smash.
Yeah. Cause I remember it was all close,
yeah.
and I was out of like, how many? Do you remember how many? I know it was like 20 plus bare minimum.
Yeah, about 30 participants.
Yeah,
it was more of like a low scale thing. It wasn't even through the main Smash Bros branches. But yeah, there was a lot of collegiate players from they sent over.
Yeah,
people from that.
Like their school competed. The host of it. What was their school host?
Shenandoah.
Yeah. Yeah. Their university did it, and some like high schools also. Like they also sent out people like in their like uniforms and everything. Like people who do play the game. Like it was a mixture of like people wanting to win and people just playing for fun. Okay. And yeah.
And we also went up to Post University, and there was a couple collegiate teams there that we fared very well against. except for a couple of occasional ones. But that's another
And
discussion for
Fisher.
another or discussion for another day. But we're very proud of that performance,
Yeah.
aside from a few little problems, and especially even like little minor bracket errors and all.
I mean, that's awesome to hear. I mean, definitely having these collegiate wins and even just performances as well always is a good experience, and that not many people get to actually experience. So I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying going out to these different universities, enjoying being able to take these opportunities for the better as well, to not only better your own selves at the game, but also have the people around you be bettered by just you playing against you as well. And I think it's something very important to mention that you guys do this on your own time. You guys do this by yourselves. You don't ask for anything. You guys don't always go like, hey, I need this, this, and this. No, you guys take it upon yourselves, and I think that's very commendable as well. And I want to see a lot more going forward, especially Nick, now that you're the Overwatch game manager as well. I think Overwatch is going to be something that is going to be huge at Stockton, not only.
Yeah, if there's an opportunity, I'm starting the car and we're all going. That's how it is. We just got to look for the opportunities. Like we drove up to Connecticut. I mean, we drove there 4:00 in the morning in the snow, just to play some Smash Bros. But it was the greatest thing in the world. We enjoyed it. We had fun. We were all together. It was fun. I like traveling. And even if we went down to Virginia, that was about 4.5 hours away. And I don't mind driving, or even if you have to take a plane halfway across the country, just to go compete. Bring everybody.
The initiative the two of you have is very commendable. I really do respect the grind that the two of you are on, and I cannot wait to see what you guys have upcoming. Speaking of which, what do you guys have upcoming? I know you have your ECAC season, but is there anything else in the works?
We have NACE.
Okay.
Yeah, NACE. We're having that tonight, actually. So, and I want to work on getting like a local scene akin to Rowan, like here at Stockton. Like I've been talking with Nick about it, and we're potentially going to talk to like other colleges about this and see like if we can get like something going between like kind of like a collab between the two colleges. And what other events are there?
There's also the Tri-State Collegiate.
Yes.
We've been looking into. I've been in contact with that. It looks like it's going to be more of like a in-person collegiate sort of circuit that will have like a big final event at the end, depending on how well you do. And that's more of localized to New Jersey, which is a good thing because, A, you don't have to travel that far and you can play more frequently. And it's in person, so you don't have to worry about like lag and all the other stuff that plagues playing a fighting game online. So I think the first event will be up in NJCU, I believe.
Yeah, he said that.
Late October, and I think they bounce around through Rutgers and all the other schools, and maybe we could host in the future.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. I do want to do a prediction real quick here now. Now that both of you guys are starting to get your way with leadership, going into leadership this year, I think both of you guys are going to do great, first of all. But what I want to know is, Noah, starting with you, going into what prediction do you have for this upcoming year with ECAC and NACE? I mean, you guys were talking about it a little bit earlier, how you guys are excited to compete in this stuff, and that also the tryouts just happened, so you guys are starting to get your rosters formed.
Yeah.
What's your prediction, and what are you looking to do going into these two leagues?
Obviously improved from last year, and NACE, this is our first time entering NACE, so like we're kind of just testing the waters here with NACE, but with ECAC, we know what we're capable of, and we know what we want to improve on. And we also know a lot of problem schools like Fisher, obviously, but then like other schools that have like really good talent just like randomly, and know like what characters they play. Like we're now like really like looking into the stats of the players now. Like there's websites that you can like look up the tag of the person, you can see their win rate, their characters they play, also like what characters they lose against, what characters they win against. But usually you don't want to do that. You just want to stick with your main. But you can, if someone has like a problem character with say like Jigglypuff, and you have a Jigglypuff on your team, you just kind of have to guess like when they're going to go in, and you just send them in, and then that will give you as big as advantage as you can get.
Now, Nick, what about you?
I think, well, it started off as a joke. The slogan we had was, it's all about the trophy. And, I mean, I've competed. This is now my fourth year, so I played Overwatch and Smash for the last 4 years. That's 2 games and many different leagues and all. I said, we haven't really come out successful. We've had very great performances in both games. We've made it to quarterfinals and we're like just that close. But we just never made it all the way. It would just be great to see like a trophy that says Stockton, we won. We won. That's always what I've been looking to win. And now that I know that we restructure Overwatch, we know what we have to do for Smash. And just we want to find these opportunities, and hopefully the more opportunities we find, the more we improve, the more likely we are to win.
I mean, that's awesome to hear. As these different predictions as well going forward, just the trophy as well. I mean, we have done a lot of had a lot of great success here at Stockton through this esports program. And Kyle, you know best about this, how we have been restructuring Stockton Esports in general with the new resources we have, the new staff members such as Frank, such as myself, and these two beautiful kids here, Noah and Nick. I mean, it's been amazing time. And now, Kyle, I want to change this a little bit over to you. You are the community coordinator for Stockton Esports, but you also have your hand in your own competitive scenes and stuff. Do you have any advice for these two newer game managers about what can we do going forward that would help them not only elevate their careers, but also elevate the people that are under them?
I don't think I'm that much newer compared to Noah. I'm pretty sure he's been a GM the same time I have.
Yeah, I've been here since bare minimum 3. The only time I wasn't a game manager was my first semester as a freshman. Ever since then, I've been game manager.
Yeah, Noah's been in here as long as I have.
Fair enough. Never mind. My fault. I'm so sorry, actually. I need to fact check myself. Yes.
Nick's the new game manager.
Yeah, me and Noah have been here from fall 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, we came in with the pandemic and the mask and nobody being around campus.
And you were always Leo's right-hand man, the previous Overwatch game manager. So he was always setting you up to basically take this job and preparing you for that. What was that like, being able to have that kind of mentorship guidance almost?
Yeah, I like that. And especially as we got more and more teams, it's sort of like I slowly became like a captain. I started off as a captain of another team and he took care of the other ones. And the very first semester, actually, I was put right into the middle of it all. And I said, yeah, I like this. This is enjoying. It's like people like playing with me. They'd rather play with me instead of someone who just has no hand in the game or is like strict or just doesn't really show up with like a winning mentality. And so I've sort of captained and game managed for basically my entire time. And now I don't have many semesters left. I want to make sure we have Noble, who's under me, Jeremy. I want to make sure he has every bit of everything he needs to win, all the resources that I've learned. I want to make sure he has it, so there's a legacy coming, and he constantly keeps being able to grow.
You were talking about the winning mentality over there, about making sure that players have that. What do you guys, both of you, will start with Nick, what do you guys do to keep up team morale and keep everyone going, even if the season results aren't that great at that moment?
First of all, I wanted to make sure there's a personal connection there. So I said, make sure I want everybody who's part of the tryouts to make sure you're in the lab. I want to get to meet you and see, put a name to a face. So you get to be comfortable with people. And that's how me and Noah succeed in Smash so much and go to these events and all. It's because we eventually learn to know each other and be nice over the years. And so as soon as you get started with that, then it's easier to set up practice times. And you can practice and then make sure you're on the same basis for that. And then Overwatch is different than Smash because you also need a strong team, and I think we're starting to pave the way for that once we get this semester rolling, teams are made.
Noah, same question.
Yeah, I think the best thing is just make sure everyone's having fun. We had a big problem with this last semester. It was a big mentality boom kind of thing. And I always tell them I don't necessarily care that you're winning. I don't care about your results as long as you're having fun. Obviously it's nice to win. We all like winning. Here at Stockton we like winning. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But making sure everyone's having fun and just be a funny guy. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think I'm a funny guy, and I'm making sure everyone's having a good time. I'm getting to know these what Nick was saying, it's in person, Smash, and I'm getting everyone's sense of humor down, making sure everyone's having a positive experience. I'm figuring out everyone as I meet them.
That's always great to have. That's always something that I've really respected about you too. I haven't really had that chance with FIFA myself because our roster is either really small or everyone's all over the place. But to see you guys bring it together and have that kind of community aspect, that's the kind of stuff I really like to see in the esports scene, because it's not all just about the trophies, the titles, the banners, or whatever. It's also about the community, making sure everyone's having a good time, because there's always going to be a team that wins, but then you got like 32 to 64 other teams that didn't win in those tournaments. So you got to always keep on the up and up, keep that positivity going.
Yeah.
And it's so great to see that the positivity and the mentality is such a big aspect of playing the game, not only as a manager, but also as one of those competitive players and team captains with you guys, because a lot of teams start to, and this is coming from experience, a lot of teams just start to fall back on negativity and using that. If something's not going their way, they always look for a way out instead of a way to fix it. And to hear that you guys are always going for that positive mentality and always trying to fix the wrongs and everything, it's so good to hear, especially Nick, because Overwatch and Smash does also have a lot of teams. You guys are having 3 teams each, I believe, last season and also this season. And going forward, I would love to see what you guys are going to be able to do, possibly if there's going to be a collaboration between the two of you guys going forward. Maybe if there's going to be like a YouTube video or like some content coming out with those positive mentalities, because I think that would be great content going forward to see how is everybody liking playing with each other, how is everybody liking playing in general as well, if they're having fun with it and what they're doing outside of the game. I think that would be definitely a great content run, and that would be up to you guys as well. Would you guys be interested in doing something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. One random thing that happened that kind of like went off, like kind of building off what you said, like we last night, like we were deciding the final varsity spot and like basically like the best player on B team, because if we could have 7 people on varsity, we would have had it. Unfortunately, due to ECAC, we can't. But we were playing like a best of 5, and Nick, I don't think, no, you weren't there for that. But like I was talking with Andres, and he's like, we should like have like a rivalry like between like these guys that we're playing up against, because they can really push each other. And like, I guess now that you've said that, we can get some like, I'm having my gears turn. I'm like thinking of ideas of how we can like make like a fun like kind of content kind of thing, like a fun content rivalry like between like some people on like the Smash teams. Like we can have like kind of like a random like best of 5 like recorded, and we have that streamed, and like see how like people improve against other people, and see how like how their characters improve, how their mentality improves, how their advantage, disadvantage, their neutral, etc. improves.
Yeah. So those friendly in-houses, basically,
yes,
doing those casually, but also fairly competitively to make sure everyone's growing at the same time instead of having one person grow faster than everyone else.
Yes.
And Nick, anything similar to that with Overwatch? Do you want to do that possibly? Because I know tryouts just happened last night. Teams haven't been decided 100%. But is there any like interest in doing something like that to where it's like a friendly rivalry between some teams if they're on the same level?
Yeah, we always could do that. And here we got new people coming on who want to make content and all. And in the years past, sometimes it's a problem. Sometimes the competition gets a little different. But there's definitely a lot of interactions between the two teams, and we all know each other in years past. So eventually you do have 2 teams, and that's literally just a formality because we all became friends, and there was always. We hate to see people like last semester we lost 3 people, but they played on different teams. They played on this guy's team, that guy's team, but we were all still together.
So you said you had a lot of people show up. I'm just curious myself, just because I'm wondering about it. Have you had a lot of freshmen pop out to these tryouts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were a couple freshmen, and I mainly just go off of who I recognize from I see on campus or in servers or in talking in general. But it seemed, reading the room, it seemed like there were a lot of freshmen, a lot of new talent, and because there was probably about 20 people that show up and maybe only about 4 returning players, 4 or 5, and it was pretty chaotic because you got to meet everybody, you got to make sure you have all their contact information, and so there was a lot of new stuff. So basically, walking out of that room last night, the takeaway, describing in one word, was just new.
Yeah, I was trying to do math in my head while Nick was talking. I think bare minimum 40% of our team's freshmen. Like we got a lot of freshmen. Like between like all 3 ECAC teams. Like we got a lot of new people. Like one of the new people, like I mentioned this before because it's just so funny. Like during my first semester as a game manager, we hosted an online tournament, and the guy who got second is now a freshman here.
He got second, and now he's a freshman here?
Yeah, he got second. Yeah, he was playing in high school.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's awesome to hear. Having this new talent as well come in can always change up how play styles work with a team, and sometimes it could be for the better, sometimes it could be for the worse, but having a strong base of friendship and family at this point, which it seems like both of you guys, both of your games do have a great sense of friendship, especially Nick with the Overwatch, having everybody in person for those tryouts was a great idea. I commend you for that, absolutely. And Kyle, is there anything else that you want to say on this topic? Because right now, as far as I'm aware, you guys are going to do great this season. I am so excited for what you guys have upcoming.
Personally, I have nothing more to add. I'm excited to see what the both of you are going to do. And the last thing I'm going to ask you is if there's anything you'd like to add on, ask us even, or like to plug to the podcast.
I mean, just winning. I'm going to keep looking for these opportunities. I'm going to search. And as soon as we got a team going, I'm going to set up practices and scrimmage and then get to know each other. And hopefully we get to build a legacy like we did with Smash. Just became close friends and all. You know, like all these trips that I talk about going on, they wouldn't happen if you just had like a bunch of just people were just assigned to your team. Like they're not just teammates; they're like more like friends. You're not going to like a business meeting. You're going to go play video games, and so you make a trip out of it. And that's what I like the most about the whole program as a whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on to what Nick said. Like even if we like do like the absolute worst like at those events we go to, like we always have like such a great time. Like. We kind of mentioned, I was kind of talking with this about Andres. Like, there's like actually, one of them's no longer here, but like 5 of us primarily, like of the upper ones that are like really, really like tight with each other, and we usually like all go to events together, and we want to kind of kindle that with like the new people here. Like, we want to have those like friendships form, and like have them strengthen each other, like the way how Nick, Andres. Nemo, who's no longer here, Var, and Luke. I can't say his tag. How they've all like strengthened us, and like how we've all like just became so much better because of what they've done with us, and like how we've made them better as well. And we want to have that just like reverberate into the new freshmen.
That's a beautiful thing to hear. Help make the next generation also have such a great time like you have had. That's always something that I love to hear from all of our game managers and any of our teams. Anything you'd like to add, Kev?
Only thing I want to add is with this upcoming competitive seasons, #Go Ospreys. I mean, you guys are going to kill it. Like I said, I'm so excited to see you guys play, not only in person, but also online whenever you guys are going to be competing. But I do want to mention one thing. #Gobble the World. Kyle, you know more about that. Plug it away right now.
I know more about that? Okay.
All right, I think we can plug it since the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Green Gobblers.
Yeah.
We got that. We're going to be representing GG. Are you guys having your tag?
Yeah, we have it. We have it in our tag. We have it in our. Whenever we go to a Rowan tournament or like any tournament, like that SmashCon was like when we finally like put in the debut of GG / that one guy, Acorn, Var, like everyone who went to like SmashCon. That's when we started Green Gobblers, like, and that's our esports team. Like it's a fun time, I guess.
And none of it would have existed without the camaraderie we built.
Actually, yeah, because it's just a funny team, like, and that person we met at the hotel, like, we got them to join Green Gobblers because it was just funny, and they kind of got our sense of humor. Like, it's just like, are you a funny guy? Like, and that's how you get on the team, basically.
I remember when I saw Andres and Var starting it up, I asked them, "Hey, could I be your FIFA player?" And they were like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Y'all need a Rocket League player?
If you got a team to bring with you,
I'll be a comp hitter. I'll be a comp clip hitter.
Reach out to Var and Andres.
Let's do it. I'm gonna become a gobbler.
But yeah, that's all I have for you guys, for you at the podcast. Thank you guys for coming out, for watching this episode. Thank you, Nick and Noah, for coming out. Thank you, Kev, for being here as well. You have a class that you are going to have to be at in a half hour, so have fun with that.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.